Alrighty, g'day YouTube. So my training plan, here it is. So I'll just explain to you, this is a ride I did on Tuesday, a couple of days ago. And I was out doing efforts. Now if you follow me on Strava, you'll have seen it on there. It was called Winham-Wellow doing efforts. So this is just in one of the recoveries now. So I'm just coming up to the start of another one of my 10-minute efforts. So the efforts were the length of 10 minutes and they went for 1 minute on and then 1 minute in recovery. So just coming around the corner here now, and it'll start as I go over the line. And what I did on the Garmin, I just set, so I run a Garmin 510 Edge, I just set on the screen, I had the power, cadence, heart rate and lap time. So each time I hit the lap button, it would come up with a 0 and then start counting from there. So you'll see the lap time on the top now, it will change now. So there you go, it's back to 0 and the effort has started. So now I'll just jump up to around 300, a bit over 300 watts, and I will hold it there and then come back to around about somewhere between 160 and 200 watts, around about my zone 2 for the recovery. So we're up there now doing the effort. So what I'll do now is I'll just flick this over into the corner screen and we'll jump in and see my Strava account, and you'll see what I mean. The Strava account and my Training Peaks account, and you'll understand then that this ride is what I'm about to show you in Strava and Training Peaks, and you'll see how I've set up my actual training plan. Okay, so the ride you're actually seeing now on the video is this particular ride here that I did the other day, and this is the Winham-Wellow doing effort. So there's a total of 43 Ks, average weighted power was 208 watts, speed 29. As I say, that isn't majorly important, it's just about the power you're putting out and what sort of zones you're running is the thing. So what I did was I'll show you the laps and then we'll go into Training Peaks and I'll show you how I've set that up. Now you don't have to do the Training Peaks, you could really set this up on a spreadsheet if you want, an Excel spreadsheet if you're any good with that, but the Training Peaks is good because it monitors what you're doing as far as your fatigue levels and your TSS scores and all that sort of stuff. So I'll go into the laps. So this is now, obviously there's the route that I did and then I came back to there. So this first bit here was about 17 minutes, that was just warming up. So I was just warming up, averaging around 20 k's an hour, and then this was my first effort that I did. So here it is there. So with these, there is, so I was recovering there and back up there, then recovering, back up there, recovering, back up, recovering. They are a little bit, when you're out on the road, they're a little bit sketchy because obviously along this particular road here, this blue section, that's the effort that I did. It went for 10 minutes, which is down here. So time 11 minutes 13 seconds. So that's what that's how long it went for. But the reason why they're a little bit scratchy compared to what they are on an indoor trainer is because you're not you've got traffic lights, you've got to slow down for things, you know, all sorts of stuff. So that's the only thing we're doing it on the road. It's not as consistent, you can't hold that 100% power, which is why the watts here would probably be higher if I'd done the same effort on the indoor trainer, if you see what I'm saying. So that's why I always say if you can do it on the indoor trainer, I still think you get a harder workout and a more precise workout on the indoor trainer than what you do out on the road, but only because you got undulations on the road, you got a bit of uphill, a bit of downhill, easier pedaling if you're slightly downhill, so that's why it varies. So anyway, then I went to a little recovery. This one wasn't a big recovery, and then I went straight back into another effort here. So again, the efforts along here, again it went for 10 minutes. You just hit start lap on your Garmin and it will tell you on your screen how long your effort's going for. And then had a recovery for about 9 minutes and then did another effort here. So this effort went from here all the way up to the top there, and then did another bit of recovery, and then a final effort there, and then the final cool down, warm down on the way back home. So that is the ride. So when you hit your lap timer, this is the sort of data that you're going to come up with. You're going to get this sort of thing, and it will tell you how your laps have been and all the rest of it. So we'll jump into Training Peaks now. So this is Training Peaks. I mean, this is the last 4 weeks. Obviously, this is the week we're in now. Okay, this week here. So it's Monday the 18th, Tuesday the 19th today. Sorry, not Tuesday the 19th. That was yesterday. It's Wednesday the 20th today. So this is what I did yesterday, which is the ride you're seeing on the video now. Okay, and what this does is it's good because you can plan. So here's what I planned to do, was 1 hour and 25 minutes in duration in time. So it's just about getting the time, because this is base training, don't forget. So it's about getting the time, the hours on the bike. Okay, so you can put in, right, I want to do around about 9 hours a week on the bike. So all up, this particular one was 1 hour and 25. I ended up doing 1 hour and 27. Okay, again, distance was 43, which is what I planned. I did 43.4. It works out your average speed. Don't worry about that. That means nothing really. It's just about what you're doing. If you're going out to do efforts, on the notes here I just put zone 2 ride with efforts at zone 4 and 5, which is exactly what I did. Okay, and then you can work your efforts out to whatever suits you. So this is the beauty of it. This is the good thing about this one. It gives you something to work to. Like today, I'm having a day off the bike, but I've decided I'm going to do some arms. So some weights on arms. If you don't do weights, then you don't worry about this. But all I'm doing is, I'll start these in a minute when I finish this video. I'll do 30 minutes. So at the minute, because I haven't done this particular exercise, it hasn't come up as completed because I haven't put it in there. Okay, so all I'm doing is just put description, just work arms. So I'll just do biceps, triceps for 30 minutes. And then tomorrow, which is in the morning, I don't know whether I'll do this in the morning or at night time. I'm not sure yet. I think I might have an early start at work, but this is what I've got planned for tomorrow. So again, it's the same ride as on Tuesday, Wynnum Wellow, and zone 2 again, doing some efforts and possibly an FTP, which I won't be doing an FTP. So you can put your own little description in there as to what you want to do. And again, 1 hour and 25, same distance, and it calculates the average speed for you. So that's what I mean. You don't worry about that. That means nothing. You just, whatever your speed is, it makes no difference. If you're doing efforts, you're not going to be hard at it all the way. So your average speed could be anything. And then Friday is a rest day. So again, you can put in a rest day on the bike. But I'll do some weights, so I'll do some upper body, chest and core. Okay, so I'll just do some of that for about 40 minutes. I'll put in there, so 40 minutes at that. And then Saturday we come on to our rides. So we've got a 60k and a 100k plan. So over here in the summary, it gives you, for your total exercises, it gives you the duration for the whole week. So it's 11 hours. 2 minutes, but the bike duration is 9 hours. Now I said earlier I wanted 9 hours a week on the bike, 9 hours and 12 minutes. So that's the beauty of this. It gives you look at this and you see it and you know, like today you can plan for it and you go, I know I'm going to do it, rather than just guesstimating, thinking, oh, I might go out on the bike tonight or tomorrow or whatever. You know, this way you've got it in front of you and you can work to it. And you can also, if you don't have time to do this, say these arms, or say I don't have time to do this one, well, you can swap it over with the day off on the Friday and do these on the Thursday. So you can swap and change it around. As long as you get your hours in, whatever you think you're capable of doing with your work life, then you're fine. And then I've just repeated the session for week 2, week 3, and then we come down to week 4, which is a recovery week. Okay, so this is a recovery, which is like the one I did last week, where it's a bit of an easier ride. So I've got a rest week, so I have a day off the bike there. I'll just do a bit of upper body on shoulders, do some arms. I'll do an easy 20k's on the mountain bike probably on the Thursday, bit of upper body, and then I'll do a couple of easy rides on the Saturday and Sunday. And then you've got your total duration here on the bike is only 4 hours for that week. So I'll only be on the bike a total of 4 hours for that week, and that gives your legs plenty of time to recover from your previous 3 weeks of being on the bike. So that is pretty much it as far as how this is set out. I like it, as I say, you don't have to do it this way. You could really do this on an Excel spreadsheet, but it does give you some good stats. Like, it'll tell you, obviously it goes green and that when it's done. It gives you your TSS, your training stress scores and all the rest of it. It'll tell you your fatigue, all that sort of stuff. So it gives you everything, gives you full details on where you've been, and then you've got all this workout here, gives you all your averages and that. Your lap times again are all down here as well. So once you get to know the figures and start to work out the numbers and stuff, you can start to build up a picture of where you're going. If you're getting too fatigued, if you're needing a bit more training, for whatever you want to work to, you can sort of set it up in this thing. But I just like the idea that it's laid out. So the next 4 weeks of rides for me is just mapped out. It's all there, and I know what I've got to do to try and get to my end goal. If you're not training for anything, then you don't need this. This is pointless. You only need it if you're actually training for something. It just gives you a good point of reference to get your training underway. So that's about it, people. That is all there is to it. Simple as that. So the Training Peaks thing's a sailor. I like it because I like my numbers, I like the figures, I like the graphs, all that sort of stuff. I like to see exactly what I'm doing. But you don't need it. But for me, as I say, it's good, and it gives you something to work to. If you've got that structure in front of you, you're more likely to do it and to do the amount of training that you're setting out for yourself. And don't forget, everybody's training plan will be different, because it's going to depend on the amount of hours you can put into it per week. Some people might be able to put 20 hours a week into it, where you're going to have a much more loaded training plan than what, say, I've got, for instance, on this particular one. So that's the one good thing about it anyway, is it just sets it up, and you know, like tonight I know I've got to do arms, okay, tomorrow I know I've got to do my efforts out on the bike. Or if you don't want to go out on the actual bike, like I say, what I might do tomorrow, instead of going out early in the morning, I may, I nearly run that bird over, I may do them on the indoor trainer tomorrow night, or I might go out in the evening on the bike and do them. So you just work them around. Just because you've got it planned out that that's what you're doing on that particular day doesn't mean you have to stick to it rigidly. You just got to sort of, it gives you an idea. But anyway, it works for me, and if you keep your training up, I'll tell you now, you'll get stronger. It ain't easy, it is hard. Don't let anyone tell you it's easy, because it isn't easy. It's hard to get it all fitted into your day and your work and around kids and school and eating and all that sort of stuff. It's just hard work, but you have to think about it. And I reckon if you've got a plan of attack and you've got some sort of a idea, a map like I've got there in Training Peaks, you've got something to look at, to visually see, it just makes the task a little bit easier. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. You got any questions or comments, you can post them down below.